Hey guys, how's it going? Cyrus back with another video. Today's video, this has kind of been a requested one, more so than I thought it would be requested actually. And I've been hearing it a lot lately, so I figured I'd actually go ahead and make the video. This video is how to drive a manual car. So a little bit of background for me when it comes to manual cars. I've been driving manual cars since I was 14. I've actually learned how to drive on a manual car. So it's kind of just second nature to me. My mom actually taught me way before I should have even been able to. And like, she had a yellow EG hatch and a Toyota MR2, and both of those are manual cars. So like, yeah, I've always known how to drive a manual car. So I figured, since you guys have asked me so many times, I'd go ahead and give you a video on how to drive a manual car. First things first, to get started off, I guess you guys just need a manual car and a safe place where you can drive. I chose to go next to this old Fry's Electronics where there's nobody around me or anything like that. I'm actually in the side alley by it, so I don't have anything to worry about when it comes to hitting people, and plus I already know how to drive manual, so nothing to worry about in that sense. So with that being said, let's get started. Alright, so first of all, I guess let's do this. What I would do, start off with the car off, and what you need to do is look down below you. You should see 3 pedals. Below you there should be 3 pedals. There should be the clutch pedal, which is on the far left. In the middle you have the brake, and on the right you'll have the gas pedal. Now, the clutch is your best friend. The clutch is your best friend. Whenever you're in doubt, always use the clutch. Like, no matter what, whatever you're doing, you pretty much should be clutching beforehand. In most scenarios. In most cases, you will be using the clutch. So be very friendly with the clutch. Make sure you're in a good position as well, to where you're able to push the clutch all the way down. I'm a little bit scooted back. I'm scoot forward so I can show you guys. So let's see here. Make sure you're close enough to where you can push the clutch all the way down. The clutch should be able to touch the floor, as well as you should be able to reach the gas pedal. Before we get started, the first thing you should do is see how many gears you have. So like my Type R, it is a 6-speed. So I have 6 gears, and I have my reverse on the far right to the bottom. So now, the first thing you should do is kind of get a feel for the gauges. Well, feel for the gears rather. You want to push the clutch all the way down. So clutch all the way in, and then just make sure you're in neutral. Neutral will be the middle. You should be able to do this all the way in neutral. You should be able to go all the way from the left to the right. And so with that, what you want to do, far left, up. For me, that's first. Far left, down, that's second. Go neutral, middle, up, that's third gear. Middle, down, that's fourth. Now, you have to be careful for this one, depending on where your reverse is. But for me, to the right and up, that's 5th gear, and to the right and down, that's 6th gear. Now reverse for me is all the way to the right and down. You can see the difference between reverse and 6 pretty easily. In most cases, the car won't even let you go to reverse unless the car has been in neutral for a little bit of time, or you're just not moving at all. Otherwise than that, it will just lock you out and won't even let you go into reverse. So kind of once you've done that, just go through it a few times. Make sure you get a good grasp of where all the gears are, and then once you've done that, you can go ahead and kind of like go ahead and start the process of trying to learn how to drive manual. But for now, just get used to doing that. Just get used to doing that. Get used to doing that. Make sure it feels comfortable. Make sure you know where everything is, because the last thing you want to do is money shift and end up somewhere you do not want to be, and that is how rods get sent to the moon. All right, so another thing, every car's clutch will feel different than the last. A way you could think of this is like, I don't know, you can think of it like dating a girl. The clutch is the girl. All girls are girls, but like every girl is different, right? You know what I mean? You got to figure out, is she heavy? Is she light? I don't know, that's probably a bad analogy. Don't listen to me there, but you understand what I'm trying to say. Every clutch is different. Now, when it comes to Type Rs are really forgiving cars when it comes to the clutch, and they're really easy to learn how to drive manual on. I was actually trying to teach my girlfriend how to drive manual in my old 2007 Honda Fit, and I had to pull the e-brake on her because she actually almost took out my trash can. That's a long story, but yeah. So I probably will teach her how to drive manual in this car because it'll be a little bit easier. The Fit is really easy to learn how to drive stick on, because I've taught plenty of people how to drive stick on it, but this car right here, really forgiving. If you're looking for a first time manual car, you can go for a Civic Type R. They're really forgiving, but you got to pay the price for a Type R at the same time. But anyway, once you kind of like understand how the clutch feels, what it feels like to go down all the way to the floor and stuff like that, that's when you can kind of like get into the habit of actually going through the gears. But yeah, so with that being said, we'll go ahead and start the car. For my car, if it's push to start, a lot of cases you'll have to not only have the clutch down. Any car that's manual, you'll have to have the clutch down unless it's an old school Japanese car. You'll have to have the clutch down and you'll have to press on the pedal. Now, once you do that, you press the power button, the engine start and stop button. And then at that point, leave your foot on the clutch, leave your foot on the brake. You can make sure you're in neutral. Once you're in neutral though, you can take your foot off the clutch pedal. And then that way you won't move as long as you have the parking brake up. If you have the parking brake down, the car will most likely move unless you're on a leveled surface. But for now, since I'm on a leveled surface, I can stay in neutral with the parking brake down and I don't have to worry about moving. See, the car's not moving, I'm in neutral, my foot's not on the clutch, and it's not on the brake. And the real reason I'm not moving is because I'm on a level surface. If I was on an unlevel surface, I'd go whichever direction that the incline is. So with that being said, I'm gonna put the car back on power brake. And before you even get started on this, kind of like leave your foot on the braking clutch and just go through the gears one more time. Kind of get a feel for it. Just get a good feel for it. Now here's the fun part. Alright, so now, when you're ready to go, what you want to do, you want to put your foot all the way down on the clutch, put your foot on the brake, go to first gear. Now this is the part where I was talking about every clutch is a little bit different. So, you have to find the engage point with the clutch and the throttle. Now, what I usually do when I first started learning, well, what I usually did when I first started to learn, I would give it a little bit more gas than I should. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my foot off the brake. I'm going to put the e-brake down first, take my foot off the brake. Now, since I'm on a leveled surface, make sure you're on a leveled surface, especially if you're learning, so the car doesn't go anywhere. Take your foot off the brake. Now, give it a little bit of gas while your foot is still on the clutch. You hear it? Now, slowly, very slowly, gradually start to take your foot off of the clutch, and the car will start to move. See? Car's moving. And then at that point, you'll know exactly, after playing around for a bit, you'll know exactly where the engage point is with the clutch and the gas pedal. So now I would just keep doing that for a little bit, just like going back and, well, just going forward and just trying to figure out and play with that clutch, play with the clutch and play with the throttle until you find out what's comfortable and what's a smooth takeoff for you. Because if you give it not enough gas, here, I'll show you. If you give the car not enough gas, what's going to happen is the car is going to stall. So I'm not going to give it enough gas. Okay, well, that's what I meant by the Type R is really forgiving. I didn't give it barely any gas and it just went. So I'm going to take my foot off the gas completely and show you. Why is the car? Wow. The car is really, wow. The car's moving. Okay, so for some reason, my car will just go if I let off the clutch and I don't even need the gas. That's interesting, actually. We'll try that one more time. So no gas and the car still moves. It's crazy. All right, my car is weird. My car kind of just wants to go without the gas. So I guess that's what I mean by the Type R is really forgiving. But in most case scenarios, if you don't give it enough gas and you're letting off the clutch too much, the car will cut off. So you have to be careful about that. All right, when it comes to stopping, let me reverse. That's funny. I didn't know the Type R could do that. It's really interesting, actually. Interesting. All right, so when it comes to braking, like I said, you always want to use the clutch. The clutch will be your best friend. Here comes this car. He's probably like, what the fuck is this guy doing back here? It's okay. But anyway, like I was saying, what you always want to do, you always want to clutch whenever you can, especially when you're braking. So like, say you're coming to a halt and you're like in a low gear, you know you're coming to a complete stop. What you want to do, you want to clutch all the way down and you want to put on the brake. Because if you brake without clutching, that's when the car will cut off. Here, I'll show you that actually. I'll let the car cut off when I do it. So we're moving. So we're moving right now. Now I'm gonna brake without clutching. No clutch. Car cut off. See? So if I had the clutch all the way down while I was braking, the car wouldn't have cut off. So now I have to restart the car. Cool. But another thing, if you're coming to a stop and you put the clutch down, you go to neutral, and then you let off the clutch and you brake, the car will stay on. So neutral is the only time where you don't need a clutch, but the only time I would really be in neutral is when you have to be in neutral for whatever reason. Like right now, the car's in neutral, my foot's not on the clutch. Like my foot's not on the clutch, the car's in neutral, and the car is still on. It's as simple as that, really. Really, it just comes down to playing with the clutch and the throttle, trying to find that sweet spot. But apparently, unless you have a Type R, you don't really have to worry about that. But yeah, in any case scenario though, when most other cars, you have to find that sweet spot with the clutch and the throttle so you can be able to move. All right, so when it comes to shifting gears, say you're in first gear, your foot's no longer on the clutch and you're moving. When it comes time to shifting gears, you're gonna re-engage the clutch while the car is in motion. Your foot's not on the brake when that happens. You're gonna re-engage the clutch while the car is in motion. Take your foot off the gas though. Never have your foot on the gas at the same time while you have the clutch. And then while your foot is on the clutch, you pull back down to the next gear. And then it's the same process as when you're getting the car to go. You kind of smooth your way into it. You smooth your way back onto the gas while you're letting off the clutch at the same rate almost. Again, every car's different, so you kind of have to just find that sweet spot to where it feels smooth and natural. So for an example, here you go. I'll show you. We're moving. We're moving. So now my foot is off the clutch. Now I want to shift gears. Foot is off the gas, clutch is all the way down, pull back. Now same thing as when you're like trying to move for the first time when you're first. You kind of just like ease it back in there. Simple as that, simple as that. Now I'm in second gear. Now when you're slowing down from second gear, go ahead, push the clutch all the way down. So clutch is all the way down. Now I'm braking. Now not taking my foot off the clutch. I should probably put my seatbelt on. Not taking my foot off the clutch. The car is all the way stopped. Now the car's in revert. I mean, the car is in neutral, and now I'm free to take off my foot off the clutch while my brake is still down. So now the car's not going to stall. But when you're downshifting, it's the same concept. You're going to go from second to first, and then same concept. You kind of have to find that sweet spot with the throttle and the clutch to make it smooth again. And so guys, with that being said, all it comes down to is really just a lot of practice. Most people who I've taught, they've got it within the first day. I hope this video really helps someone out there. All the people who've been asking me to make this video, this is for you guys. I really hope this helps you guys out. Like I was saying, the Type R is one of those cars where the clutch is just super forgiving. You don't even really need the gas to go, apparently. All you got to do is take off the clutch and the car will just start moving. Most other cars, they're not that simple. I promise you, they're not that simple. I just got lucky with the Type R. I didn't even know the Type R could do that until just now, so what do you know? But yeah, as I was saying, it's just a lot of practice. It's a feel. It's just getting the right feel for your clutch, the clutch that you have in your car. and finding that sweet spot with the engagement between the clutch and the throttle that's specific for your car. If you guys have any questions, at all, just put them down in the bottom and I'll try to answer them as soon as I can. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this video. I really appreciate it. If you haven't already, please like, comment, and subscribe. And also, if you're an existing person to the channel, go check out the merch. Go to seriousmedia.com, check out the merch. You can use code Bateki or Bateki for 10% off your order. And yeah. So again, thank you guys. If you guys have any questions at all, please leave them down in the comment section and I'll get back to them as fast as I can. If you guys have any tips in here for all the other previous manual drivers, if you guys have any tips for all the other people, leave them in the comments. They'll definitely help somebody. And yeah, thank you guys. Later.